Got a lot of nerve telling you not to trust the doctors, right? Just a little bit of my experience over the last 30 years. Wow. Pretty much my whole life. Honest to God, the doctors told my mother I needed surgery on my legs when I was a young teenager, that I would have to be in a wheelchair for probably a year and a half. I had Osgood sclatters or something in my knees. My knees hurt. They were very tender. It was uncomfortable. Thank God my mother said no. It went away. I was fine. I was diagnosed with myelodysplasia, with refractory anemia. It's a blood cancer, and back then it fell under leukemia. They told me that if I didn't get a bone marrow transplant, I would probably not live any more than 5 years. So that insanity ensued. During that time, I was placed on antidepressants. I tried it their way. I did everything. I went to the City of Hope, Cancer Institutes of America. I talked to some of the best doctors. They wanted to do a bone marrow transplant. I couldn't find a donor. My whole family was tested. Long story short, I was on a million different drugs. Thought I was going to die. Couldn't find a donor. My marriage fell apart. I wound up in the middle of the desert. I got off every single drug I could get off of. I figured if I was going to die, I wanted to be present, because the drugs they had me on were making me so sick. I couldn't get off the antidepressants. I went into remission. The doctors couldn't believe it. No one could believe it. I went into remission. Currently, there's no sign of me ever even having that in my blood work, and I was told by my doctors that that would always show up in my blood work, that my normal would never be normal. That was okay. So anyway, through the years after that, I'm having pain in my legs. I've got myelodysplasia. You know, I don't have the myelodysplasia anymore. It's in remission. I'm trying to get my life back together, and I can't get off these antidepressants. They're telling me I have fibromyalgia now. Okay? So they start dosing me or giving me medications like Lunesta, things like that. That stuff was making me sick. I couldn't handle it. So we settled on tramadol because I told them I wanted something that was non-addictive. I didn't want anything that I was going to have issues with later down the road. Okay? Trust your doctors. I have been sick because of my medications. Almost all the issues I've had over at least the last 20 years were because of medications, and I guarantee you it was going on for years and years before that. I cannot handle these medications. I can't handle a lot of them. My body does not process them the way other people's do. There's more science on that, but that's not what this video is about. My point is, I have had things done to me and things prescribed to me and diagnoses given to me over the years that were incorrect. I was suffering from side effects of medications, and not one doctor even suggested that that might be the issue. They just keep adding more. Right now, I cannot find a doctor to help me because I am not willing to take any medication. That's all they have to offer. Doctors are just people. I mean, yeah, they have a degree, but they're just people. I took everything they said as gospel. I listened to my doctors. I was a good girl. What have the doctors done now? They've destroyed my records. I can't find anyone to work with me. Some of them are appalled and shocked. They totally agree with what's happened with me, but they're like, sorry, honey, I can't get involved in this, you know? I even had one threaten to have me locked up. They have too much power. For one, the doctors have too much power. I did not need to be locked up. Part of the reason I had to hide is because that's what these doctors do. They will lock you up. They will convince everyone that you're insane and that you need these medications and you're sick because you won't take them. It's horrifying what we go through. I went into a doctor's office. He said, here, honey, these antidepressants might help you out. I have been a prisoner ever since. Trust your doctor. They're just people. Sometimes. We have the resources now. Information is easy now. You can find out just about anything. Use it. I wish I had. I trusted my doctors. Now I'm disabled. I'm suffering with akathisia. My life will never be the same.